After a week one beatdown here at home against the Edina Hornets, the Eagan Wildcats on the road last week, a big win at Rochester Mayo. The test just a little bit tougher tonight as the Rosemount Irish make their trek up Highway 3 for the inter-district battle. Once again, pleased to be joined by Nathan Cron. My name is Mike Cook. And Nathan, for the Wildcats, a huge win last week, both on the scoreboard and momentum-wise.
It was a big victory over the Rochester Mayo Spartans. Down in Rochester to 40-14 was the final. Eagan jumped on the Spartans early with a couple of quick turnovers that turned into Eagan scores. Really, they never looked back, coming out at halftime and driving down the field 93 yards to stick it in the end zone. Mayo Spartans kind of lost their composure with 5 personal foul penalties, and the Eagan Wildcats ended up as a +3 in the take-give. That's going to be a big challenge here tonight against these tough Rosemount Irish football players. If they can win the take-give battle, in other words, can they get more of the ball more times than Rosemount takes it away from them, they have a chance to be competitive in this football game.
Yeah, last week you said it was a +3. Eagan did have 5 takeaways in all. Jack Kruger, Colwell, Harrison Brandt had fumble recoveries. Elijah Montour, Owen Ford with picks for the Wildcats, who are going to receive the football to start tonight's game. For Rosemount, they want to definitely not have a replay of what happened last week. They lost 14-11 against Lakeville North. But first play of the game, Lakeville North took the opening kickback 94 yards to the house.
Well, it's been a long time since the Wildcats did that against anybody. I can't imagine that's going to be a high percentage play for the Wildcats. But that being said, the Wildcats did have good special teams play against the Spartans last week, and some bad special teams play in week 1 against Edina. And so the question is, what Eagan team is going to show up here tonight? If it's the team that played last week strong and hard, Rosemount might be in for a shot, or in for a play, in for a game. But if the same team shows up that played against Edina, it could be a long night for the Wildcats.
Sam Sisk, he's going to get the football. Well, no, he's not. It's going to go past him as the kick from Noah Alexander goes into the blue end zone. Cats 1st and 10 from their 20-yard line. Again, Eagan ran the heck out of the football last week. Tate Gage, the bell cow, 32 carries. We've seen 162 yards, 185 yards. Bottom line is Tate had a breakout performance.
He did have a breakout performance. He was very effective between the tackles for the Wildcats, not just getting 2 to 3 yards per gain, but he averaged well over 5 yards a carry, and that's in an option offense. If you can do that, you can be very, very successful.
The Pit doing the I Believe We Will Win chant, starting things off. Schwamm will be in a quarterback to start things off for the Eagan Wildcats. We're just going to go right up the gut on first down, get a couple yards, maybe 3 falling forward. And the Cats, they want to get 3 or 4 yards a pop all night long.
That's going to be a recipe for success. You know, the Spartans of Rochester Mayo bailed out the Cats a couple of times when they had some bad plays on 1st and 2nd down. We're looking at 3rd down and long, and a couple of times the Spartans bailed them out with penalties that gave them first downs. But tonight, I don't think the Rosemount Irish are going to be that charitable.
No. And this is going to be big. I know we talked to Jeff Erdman before the game. Rosemont's line, he's satisfied with that D-line. Some big boys up there. And advantage Rosemount on that play. Irish all over that. A number of them in there, including Sean Jackson, the senior outside linebacker, number 32, one of those celebrating. Tyler Shoddy, 42. Keep an eye on him tonight as well on defense for the white-shirted Irish. As the Cats looking at a 3rd and about 7 here opening drive here on ETV. We are your home for Wildcat Sports.
So important for the Wildcats to start fast, start early, be credible early in this game.
Rosemount jump. That should be 5 for the home team. Indeed, is going to be offsides on the Rosemount Irish. Real quick, want to mention we are on a kind of a bare bones broadcast tonight, so unfortunately we don't have the replay capabilities tonight. Just a couple of cameras instead of our normal 3 or 4, but hey, we're still happy to bring you the broadcast while we can. Unfortunately, Eagan does share a truck with Burnsville, and the Blaze are home tonight, and well, they stole the truck.
They got the truck.
3rd and about 2, maybe 3 for the Wildcats. Much more manageable 3rd down here, opening drive for the Cats. And forward, 2nd, 3rd motion should be a first down Wildcats. And indeed it will as the ball gets out to the 32-yard line. First down, Eagan. There is the hanky on the play. Let's just check that first down Eagan thing that I just said. Cats are moving backwards, and it's on the Eagan Wildcats. Procedure is the infraction.
So the 5 yards that the Wildcats got, they're going to give back, and that's really disappointing from a Wildcat standpoint. They had a first down. Of course, you have to ask yourself, did that penalty help with the first down? But
so let's go back to that 3rd and 7 or 8, depending. 3rd and about 7.5 if you want to go really, really official. But as Schwamm brings in the play, Cats 3 for 3 last week throwing the ball. Had touchdowns of 15 and 16 yards, and then they had a 46-yard. So the coaches were kind of laughing that the longest play didn't go to the house. But 3 for 3 didn't have to throw the ball much at all last week. You would think they're going to air it out here. Schwamm, he'll keep. Gets to the outside. Can he get to the corner? Nice job by the Rosemount defense. As Schwamm is going to come up, I believe, just about a yard short. Ty Hansen Number 6, the man on the spot for the Rosemount Irish. Got a little help there from Emmanuel Boswell as well.
Well, this is an interesting call. I know it's early in the game, but actually that looks to me like a bad spot. I thought it was closer to the 30-yard line, but rather than the 29, but the offense still on the field, Mike Cook.
I think this is one where you just try to draw them off. It just seems too early to be trying to impose your will, but that's why we're up here, and Nick Johnson and Mark Henderson calling the shots down below. Hendo, the offensive coordinator this year. Schwam looks to be audibling with 9 minutes to go here, opening quarter. Schwam keeps. Schwam the surge, first down, Eagan Wildcats. No flags.
Well, not a particularly aesthetically pleasing first down for the Wildcats, but
they don't ask how, they ask how many.
I was just going to say, I don't think there's a column for style points in the stat sheet, ladies and gentlemen. It's a first down for the Wildcats. That's really been a change in football in the last handful of years, Mike Cook. Being able to push a ball carrier, that used to be a penalty at virtually every level of football, and now it's commonly accepted. Well, it's no longer a penalty.
Right. Fumbled snap. Evans, by the way, the quarterback right now for the Wildcats, and he'll get about a yard. First time in for Brooklyn Evans under center tonight. As we said, Schwam played the first half of Mayo. Evans played the second half. But you talk to the Eagan coaches, and they're more than willing to rotate those guys, even really almost every play if they have to.
Here comes Carson Schwam. I was just going to say, here comes Schwam, and he's going to come into the game and give the Wildcats a different look. And I actually liked last year where they would rotate those guys almost every play. To me, it kept everybody nice and fresh.
Tight formation for the Wildcats. Sisk alone at the bottom. And Schwam gets tripped up in the backfield, still falls forward, maybe gets a couple. Shoddy in their second tackle of the game for 42 in white. It's going to be 3rd and about 7 once again for the Wildcats.
Couldn't tell. Looked like there might have been some penetration over the left guard, but another 3rd and long for the Wildcats, Mike. And the reality of it is that this is not something the Wildcats can do. They cannot tempt fate by staying in 3rd and long. Now, they might be in a position where they could be arguably in 4-down territory if they get 5 or 6 on this play, but this is not staying on schedule.
No, it's not. Kohlmeyer, your center. Schwam over the middle. Got his man. Couldn't try to get to Boats. Couldn't quite connect. And should be punt time for the Eagan Wildcats. Number 6, Hansen on the coverage for Rosemount. Well, that drive took almost 5 minutes of the first quarter.
Yeah,
and the Cats went all of 15 yards. So Cats, I'm sure they love to have the ball control offense, but you want to have more than 15 yards to show for it.
A few more than 15 yards, absolutely.
Just slightly.
Absolutely.
Montour to kick it away for the Wildcats. Can't quite make out the number on the Rosemount return man right now. I believe it might be Danner. Skied, and actually it's not Danner. Ball is going to go out of bounds. Mackley Whalen is the deep guy for the Rosemount Irish 21. Rosemount going to take over for the first time tonight with 6:56 to go opening quarter. Looks like they're going to start at about their own 37-yard line, it looks like. The officials finally getting the ball down on the turf. Well, we were talking to Jeff Erdman, as we said before the game, and we're just kind of like, what are you finding out of your offense? And he basically said something to the effect of, I don't know. So, Rosemount, they're always so good at running the ball throughout Jeff Erdman's career. And they've done a nice job of kind of throwing that pass in there, too, over the years. Tyler Jappel, by the way, senior quarterback, number 9 for the Rosemount Irish. And ball is on the turf. Jappel will fall on it. Well, Rosemount avoids danger on its opening play. With a bad handoff there. I'm not sure if it was Malexidek he was trying to get the ball to, but number 8.
Well, a little bit of timing issue there. Just something you got to clean up when you're setting up your offense. You just have to clean that stuff up. And now a little harder to have that issue when you've got a pistol formation.
And he'll keep it this time, come near side, gets out near the 4-yard line. We've got a late flag coming in. I'm not sure what that's going to be about. I don't think it was a defensive foul on the hit. I'm not sure. They're talking to NJ.
I don't think he led with his helmet.
No.
That would be the thing that I would be worried about. There wasn't a face mask.
I initially thought the Rosemount guy that came out had a block, and he did. Yep, illegal block.
All right, so we're going to have an illegal block for a -10.
Yep, from the spot of the foul.
From the spot of the foul.
I thought he kind of pushed one of the Eagan guys in the back. Again, unfortunately, we don't have replay tonight.
Yep.
On a more limited broadcast tonight. But bottom line is Rosemount going the wrong way, and it's now going to be second and, we'll call it 16. So Rosemount, so far, they've had a miscommunication on the handoff. A short run then that
second and 16 from the Rosemount
is a penalty involved. Can throw it. Actually, that might be a rush technically, far side. And number 18 out on the play, Jackson Ganser, senior for the Rosemount Irish. I guess we're going to call that a pass. Pretty much parallel path right there. No, if it goes backwards, it's a rush. But bottom line is it's only a gain of 1 for the Rosemount Irish.
Well, as Coach Erdman was saying before the game, it starts up front. Can those guys up front impose their will? Historically, the Irish have done that against these Wildcats. We'll see if they can do it here on 3rd down.
Let's see if Chapel goes to the air deep this time. 3rd and a long ways to go. Going to come near side. Got his man out of the backfield. Good coverage, though, by the Wildcats. Excellent tackle back there by the Eagan Wildcats, number 7, Adam Dorsey up. As Whalen had really nowhere to go once he caught that football. No chance he was going to get anywhere near the necessary yardage.
Okay, so I'm going to say something that I haven't said a whole lot of, but that defense was rallying to that tackle very, very quickly, and the offense still on the field for the Irish. Not sure if they're trying to draw him off or whether they're actually going to try to punt this ball.
Well, Danner's their punter. He was their quarterback last year, and they did this formation a lot on 4th down. Just the quick hit. And he'll get it out of the way, and he gets upended, but no flag as the Eagan player was blocked into the punter. It was Isom that hit the punter, but he got a little shove from a gentleman wearing white. Cats going to take over at their own 17-yard line. 5:06 to go. Opening quarter here on ETV. As we said, we are your home for Wildcat Sports. Hey, I want to give a quick shout out. Eagan Kids Club, they're still taking membership. Be sure to check things out. I know you get a special gift pack when you sign up to join the Kids Club. Check out the school website for more information. I was told there's like 150 kids that are in it already, and I know one of the perks you get is free admission to the Wildcat games. So Eagan Kids Club, be sure and check that one out on the school website. And again, Cats not finding much running room there between the tackles. Maybe a couple of yards on that far side.
Ball carry, take Gage, number 2.
Gage the carry.
And on the tackle, 32, Sean Jackson.
His 3rd carry of the night.
Gage carries to the 19-yard line.
Wildcats are comfortable with Gage getting 2 and 3 yards a pop, but the idea is that he's going to spring a 7 or 8 yarder one of these times. So far, the Rosemount Irish have rallied quickly to wherever Gage was. That was not the case last week as Gage ran, I wouldn't say wild, but was certainly a bit rampant over the Spartans.
Well, I think you were saying his yards per carry was like 5.7 or something like that. Schwam keeps it. Schwam to the outside. Nice tackle on that far side. That presented a huge gain by Peruka with the stop on Schwam. It's going to be about 3rd and looks like about 3 upcoming, maybe 2 for the Wildcats. A lot of options here for this Eagan offense. Now, as they look to get their second first down of the night.
Now this is where the Wildcats want to be. 3rd down and 2 is brilliant. I mean, that's absolutely where you want to be.
3:46 to go, opening quarter. Second offensive series of the night for the Wildcats. Rosemount went 3 and out on their lone opportunity. Cats have no receivers in the set. Well, and it's going to be 4th and short, and there's a flag on the play, though. It might be 4th and longer than short, I'm afraid.
I think it's going to be 3rd and long. I think what's going to happen is the Wildcats, I think the right tackle or the right tight end was leaning and wasn't set. I think he was leaning, and I think it's going to be a false start against the Wildcats.
Oh, it's on Rosemount. Tripping on Rosemount.
So that's a 15. Yeah. Mike, if I'm not mistaken, that's a 15-yarder, isn't it?
When was the last time you saw tripping called in a game?
Well, so what happens is the defender's on the ground. He sees the ball carrier nearby and says, hey, I got to stop that guy however I can. And instinctively, what does he do? He sticks his leg out.
Tripping penalty against Rosemount.
Out to the 40-yard line, first down Cats.
Well, and that's, last week the Mayo Spartans obliged the Cats a couple of times on 3rd downs by giving them first downs with personal foul penalties, late hits, leading with the helmet, things like that. So right now falling into place for these Wildcats.
Out to the 41-yard line. Out the outside, Schwamp keeps it.
Carson Schwamp keeps the ball.
He got flattened hard by, I believe that was 7 over there, Perutka once again. He and Schwamp have met a couple of times pretty hard on this drive.
Number 43, Will Riddle.
Well, Schwam's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder. He missed a handful of games last year, as many of you watching here will know. He definitely wants to demonstrate his value to this team and wants to make sure that he's on the field as much as he can. So he's so far he's staying in positive yardage, Mike Cook, and that's the key in an option offense.
2nd and 7. Rapidly moving first quarter down to 2:33 and counting. And that's going to be straight ahead. Gage, I believe, he'll get out to about the 47-yard line. Matt Nyson yet to get the football tonight on a rush. Number 20. He had, I think you said he had 8 carries a week ago down at Mayo.
Yeah, Matt Nyson did a nice job that time last week, able to be a change of pace back. I mean, obviously Gage was, if you want to use this term, might be overused, the bell cow, but Matt Nyson did a nice job of offering a change of pace. Thunder to the lightning, or pinky to the brain, however you want to lay it out there. Not sure if the kids will get that reference, but
that's right. The pit banner tonight, the adults don't get that reference, so we'll mention that in a moment. But.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I was looking at all these pink-colored jerseys down there.
Straight. Actually, Carson Schwamp will keep. He'll pitch. There's Ison, and he powers ahead near midfield. It's going to set up 4th and about, I'm going to guess, 2, depending on where they put him. Slow to get up for Rosemount was Jackson, but he's up on his feet. Ison's going to be right at the
50.
Well, now they're putting him back at the 46. But where he's move forward. A little confusion there amongst the men in the stripes. So they're going to put it at the 47-yard line. So officially no gain on that play.
I think what happened was his left foot was out of bounds when he caught that ball.
Yep.
Pitt took the pitch, or the next step thereafter, and all of a sudden, despite the fact that he went hard up the sideline, he was already out of bounds. Rosemount coaching staff all over that one.
3rd down at the 47.
3rd and 4. I thought it was 4th. Yeah, I can hear the coaches talking about it. I thought it was 4th. There's a catch to Sisk. Doesn't matter the down. It's down at the 35. It will be first down Eagan. Nice route by Sisk. Nice throw by Schwamp. Down to the 33-yard line.
Well, if this was a soccer game, we would say that was as smooth as you like. Schwamp dropped back, set his feet, hit Sisk. It was a nice pocket between the linebacker and the safety. And that's what happens when you run the football in the option, Mike Cook, is everyone comes forward. Everyone's eyes are in the backfield.
20 yards on that play. And we'll get maybe 3 more on that play by Gage getting another carry. 40 seconds to go in the quarter. I believe Eagan will have to run another play.
Gage carries 1 yard, 2 yards.
They're going to say 2 yards officially on that last carry by Gage.
Irish doing some substitutions. I imagine that makes sense given that this has been a long drive. It started on the Eagan 17-yard line. I mean, this has been a lot of straight ahead. Those defensive players, and this, of course, is the second series. Their offense was only out for 1 minute and 50 seconds, Mike Cook.
I was just going to say that very stat. I mean, it's a nice night for football. It's probably upper 60s and not really humid. So, And the last play of the first quarter will be a run by Gage. We'll get down to about the 28-yard line. Should be a 3-yard run, which should set up 3rd and about 5 when we get to second quarter action. And we wanted to mention, we talked about the pit. It's a tackle cancer game here at Eagan High School tonight. The pit is decked out in the pink. Big sign down there, Mojo Dojo Casa Pit. And being an older guy, I said, huh? Apparently it's from Barbie. So it is definitely a pink out down below. They are, I think just about everybody in the pit got the message to wear pink tonight, and that's great to see because, let's face it, cancer is just stinks. Otherwise, I'd like to use stronger language.
Yep.
But, and we all know somebody that's been affected by it.
Absolutely, and one of the great, I think one of the great things is that despite the fact that the pink color probably started with breast cancer awareness, and certainly not to take anything away from that, but there's so many different types of so many different conditions that people suffer from, and that's a little bit broader issue. That tackle cancer covers everybody who's suffering, and that's hopefully everybody can take a piece of that and feel good about it, and realize that all these people are here to support research that helps them and their families, not because that's ultimately what's most important.
Absolutely. Minnesota High School Football Coaches Association, they started this whole thing, had to be 12 or 15 years ago, I'm going to guess now, and just really, really blossomed into a wonderful program. And you see schools all across the state taking part, and it's just whether you're 9-man, whether you're 4A, whether you're 6A, you're taking part.
3rd and 5 for the Wildcats.
3rd and 5 for the Cats as we start the second quarter. We remain scoreless here in Wildcat country. Straight ahead. What a quick burst by the Eagan Wildcats. Gage from the 28 down to the 14. And let's give the boys up front some credit on that one.
Oh, it was a nice seam. We won't be able to see a replay, sad to say, on this one, but ladies and gentlemen, you can go back and look at it later, but Gage wasn't touched until he was probably a good 2-3 yards downfield, and he had a head of steam, broke a couple of tackles, dived forward. Big first down for the Wildcats.
From the Rosemount, we're going to say the 14 officially. Schwam, Gage, look at that surge again by the guys up front. Interesting, I talked to Mark Henderson briefly before the game, the Eagan O coordinator. I said, how much has this O-line improved since 2 weeks ago against Edina, where you got guys that two guys went one way, one guy went another. He chalked up a lot of that to first game nerves because you've got 4 new starters up there this year. He was just so impressed with just the amount they've jumped in 2 weeks. And I think you saw it right there.
Well, I can tell you right now, this offensive line's feeling its oats.
Absolutely.
I mean, they've driven these Irish back.
Not on that play. It's going to be 3rd and about 3, maybe 4. Good surge that time by a number of Rosemount Irish defenders. I believe Jackson might have been the first one in. Whelan in there as well.
No, frankly, Mike, at this point in the drive, at this point in the game, the offensive line's starting to feel it a little bit. If they're mentally, they know they can push these guys around. They know that their running backs are going to hit the seams that they create for them. And so on any particular play, they're not going to get discouraged here. As long as the Wildcats can hang on to this football and punch it in the end zone, big momentum shift for the Wildcats.
Cats looking to get the first points of this game. It's 3rd and 4 from the 8. Schwam, he'll pitch it back. Eisen cuts to the outside. Can he get down to the 5? He does. That's going to be close to the sticks. I think he's going to be just a hair shy. Sticks are on the far side of the field. They spot that ball just a hair inside the 5.
Yeah, they're going to say he's short, but good gracious, it can't be by much. If I were Nick Johnson, I'd ask for a measurement.
3-yard gain to the 5-yard line on the carry by Eisen.
Eisen, the 5', 990-pound junior. 4th and about less than 1. They're making noise on the Rosemount side, trying to cheer the defense on. The pit waking up here on the near side. Schwam gets a push. Should be first down Wildcats.
Yeah, he's on the other side of the 5-yard line, other side of the 4-yard line. They're going to mark him. That's a first down. Referee, no question, that's a first down.
I think he just followed Meyer, the center. And there's some noise from the near side. Wildcat fans, they got to get on their feet here here in Wildcat country. Aiden Handler, left guard, he was in on that play too. He was kind of Schwam was right there.
Lots of hands on hips down there for that defensive line. That defensive line's been pushed around a little bit on this drive, and so they're going to have to come up with something here.
Well, and they've been on this field way too long for the Rosemount Viking. Schwam, Gage, And they're going to be on the field for at least another play because Gage maybe gets one, running into that heart of that Rosemount defense.
Well, everything's on the table here for the Wildcats. They've got 4 downs. This is absolutely 4-down territory. There's no chance they're going to kick a field goal. So they got 3 more plays to punch this across, 3 more plays to get 3 more yards.
No gain on the play. 2nd and goal.
3 yards to glory, Mike Cook.
Wildcats at the 4-yard line.
You've been running. Now they send Sisk out to the right side. I'm thinking, do you look for a tight end maybe cutting across, or do you just keep smash mouth?
I would pound at these guys.
Gage is just shy.
Gage, number 2, carries close to the goal line.
Less than a yard for the Wildcats.
78, Emmanuel
Gage with about
Boswell
2.5 on that one.
The ball spotted inside the 1-yard line, short of the goal
The
line.
Wildcats have demonstrated on 2 consecutive quarterback sneaks that they're able to get a yard on either one. Gage has demonstrated his ability to hit a seam and keep his legs driving.
Schwam brings in the play.
Officially at the 1-yard line.
Boy, if you turn that football end over end, it's a touchdown right now. It is that close. Schwam, will he just keep it and follow Meyer? He does. Schwam, is he in? 6 points, Eagan.
Keeps the ball. Touchdown, Wildcats.
Carson Schwam puts the Cats on the board.
And for the first time in a long time, these Wildcats find themselves in the lead against the Rosemount Irish.
1-yard run for the touchdown for Carson.
Big momentum shift for the Wildcats, but this game is as much about between the Wildcats' ears as it is between the lines on the field. Wildcats need to convert the PAT with Jack Hansen, but
By number 78, Jack Hansen.
they've got to be feeling good, Mike Cook.
That drive, 8 minutes, 51 seconds. Hansen to make it 7. Kick is good.
By Jack Hansen.
I know Hansen's been battling a little bit of a groin issue. Looked good there on the PAT. And you said it, Nathan Cron. Cats up on the Rosemount Irish, and it's been a long time since we've been able to say that.
Well, what's interesting to me, Mike, is that the Cats, I mean, look, the Irish didn't help themselves with a 15-yard penalty on that drive. To be fair, that was a big momentum shift, on a big 3rd down that helped out the Cats. But the fact that the Irish were not able to stop the Cats and not able to adjust. Usually what happens is the Cats make a couple of first downs, they have a big play, something good happens, and the Irish come up to stop them. They flip the script somehow. They take that momentum away. They couldn't do it that time against these Wildcats.
16 plays, 83 yards. As I said, 851, 1 pass. And that was that 20-yarder across the middle to Sisk. That is what you call smash mouth football.
Oh, I'll tell you if you're an offensive, and I'll tell you that offensive line's got to be loving that.
Absolutely.
Just being able to tee off and go.
Seth Coleman to do the kickoff duties for the Wildcats. And a little pooch kick for the Wildcats. And Rosemount's going to just wisely fall on the football at the 31-yard line. Kind of a late hit there. I think there could have been a flag there. Rosemount player, he had definitely given himself up and then got hit.
Yeah, I think what happened was the Wildcat fell down. He stopped, but he rolled into him.
Well, bottom line, Rosemount is going to take over at the 31-yard line with 8:14 to go. Quarter number 2 here on ETV. Again, you're home for Wildcat Sports.
Ball spotted at the Rosemount 31.
Just the second drive of the football game for the Rosemount Irish.
That's not something they're used to, Mike Cook.
They went 3 and out the first time they had the football with a couple of miscues. Might have got away with a bit of a false start there. I think they caught it. Yeah, they did catch it.
Yeah, right tackle left early.
Tackle or the guard. I thought it was either way, it was one of them on that side.
Somebody on the right side of the line left early.
Yeah, they did. It was definitely.
And that's, we talked to Coach Erdman before the game. We asked about discipline and whether his new offensive line. He was talking about his new offensive line. Are they disciplined? Can they? And let's just say that he was hedging a bit.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
He was hedging.
Yes, he was.
Irish from the Rosemount 26.
But I mean, that's 2 offensive drives and 3 penalties and 2 offensive drives.
Well, they had
or 2 penalties and 2 offensive drives.
Yeah, they had the bad handoff. Then there was the penalty.
Yep.
Yeah, so 2 penalties, a bad handoff. And maybe got to get the clock reset, I'm guessing, is what's going on here. Everybody's kind of looking up at the scoreboard. There they go. Tack 2 seconds back on. So 8:15 to go here in the opening half. Again, 7-0 Eagan Wildcats over the Irish in this District 196 battle. And straight ahead for the Irish. They'll get 5, maybe 6 back. That time we got a late flag. Eagan fans are cheering. I did not see what.
Well, Eagan fans.
If there was a late hit.
Yeah, Eagan fans cheering. Wildcat players cheering. Personal foul. That's another penalty.
Yep.
Personal foul penalty against the Irish.
And again, unfortunately, we don't have the replay capabilities tonight with a limited system that we're using. Rosemount just absolutely just out of sync. I don't know if that's even, that might be generous to put it that way, but we said they've had 3 penalties
on 2 offensive drives.
Right.
And that doesn't even count the penalty that gave the Wildcats a big first down with 15 yards. The tripping penalty.
1st and 25 for the Rosemount Irish.
Oh, and then we had the block in the back.
Yep.
That was another penalty.
That's right.
Just lots of penalties.
Rosemount going to run it. Pick up about 5.
That ball's on the
6.
ground. That ball was on the ground. I think Rosemount got it back.
Yeah, nope. So 2nd down upcoming for the Irish.
It's going to be 3rd down. Yep.
3rd down, you're right.
On the tackle, 23-1 forward and others. Play moves the ball across.
Scoreboard has 2nd down.
It should be 2nd down because the penalty.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, it should be 2nd down.
Yeah,
that's right.
The marker says 3rd. The board says 2nd.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree it should be 2nd.
After the 15-yard penalty, but that was a dead ball foul. So, yeah, anyway, it's 2nd down.
Still a long ways to go for the Irish. They're going to go out to the air near side, cutting it across. Dangerous throw, but what a catch. In between 2 defenders, number 22 with the catch for the Rosemount Irish is Kyson Lennertz. Boy, that was a nice touch shown, though, by Japel on that throw. Japel, I should say. I think it's Japel, I was told.
Well, the Irish had to have it. You know, the Irish had to have something there. Otherwise, it was going to be a long, long play.
So
otherwise,
just 3rd and 5.
The Wildcats think it's 4th down. Well, I don't know why they've got a deep guy.
Yeah, there's some serious confusion here. Officials got to figure this out.
Yeah, they need to work with the chain gang to get it set
right.
right.
Because nobody seems to know what it is here. Well, there's Danner. Maybe it was 4th down because he's their punter.
And the Wildcats are going to take over on downs.
So whatever the confusion is, it's Eagan football.
Yeah, it was 4th down because that was a dead ball foul. That was a
yep.
dead ball foul. So you got the benefit of the play, but then lost 15 yards. So they got a +6 and a -15.
Good call. You're right.
So that's what happened there.
So the guys on the board, okay. So we got to give Trisha Burback and the chain gang and those folks some credit. The down marker, they all had it right. Cats, 1st down at the Rosemount 38-yard line. 6:14 to go in the opening half. Cats already up by a 7-0 count. Schwam got his man far side. Sisk. That'll be close to moving the sticks. I like what I've seen out of Sisk this year. He had a couple catches, I think, and then he died in a game, and he's just a smooth route runner from what I've seen.
Well, for the Wildcats system, catching passes is not their forte.
No.
They'd like to run the ball every down if they can. So when you are catching passes, you have to make the most of it. You have to make sure you make the catch, hold on to the football, get positive yardage, and 9 yards on 1st down. You'll take it if you're Coach Nick Johnson.
Again, a lot of options here for the Wildcats. Rosemount students trying to make noise on their side. Yeah, Gage is a pretty good call. And he'll get down to the 20. The Cats, 9 yards on the first 2 plays of this drive. 1 via the pass, 1 via the run.
First down for the Wildcats.
And the Wildcats are going to be content to let that clock run.
Oh, you know that. They're milking it. Both teams have 3 timeouts, but we're getting way ahead of ourselves on that one.
Well, I'm just thinking if somehow the Wildcats in the last, if they're able to take this ball down with another 8 or 9 plays and score here, they might burn up most or all of the second quarter of this first half.
Absolutely. Again, Cats just methodical on offense. Evan goes in motion. straight ahead on the handoff.
Gage, number 2
Gage
carries.
the carry. I say Rosemount had a better job there, but they still gave up 5.
Henry Tyrell, number 26. Emmanuel Boswell, number 78.
Boswell, big 78, make the stop that time for Rosemount.
Well, somebody in a Rosemount uniform's got to make a play here. I mean, look, I'm not saying that this is the game over if the Wildcats score here or anything like that. I'm not saying that by any means, but somebody in a Rosemount uniform has to make a play right now because nobody on the Rosemount sideline, nobody on the field, other than the pass from Chappell earlier, nobody else has really made a play tonight.
Sisk out to the left. He's guarded by Hansen. If the Cats chose to go to the air, which they don't. So nearly taking that one to the house. But first and goal, Eagan Wildcats. Tate Gage. You mentioned the word earlier, like it was bell cow, I think we said earlier, right?
Well, yeah, I did.
Yeah, and so far so good.
Well, he doesn't, to be fair, Mike Cook, he's not a Halverson, he's not a 200-pound bowling ball, right? He's not a Tonsager, but he's running hard between the tackles and he's finding creases to get yards. And that's what you have to do. Whether you run him over or run around him, you got to get yards.
First and goal, Cats by 7. Can they make it? Put 6 more on the home side. Flags aplenty because I believe they're going to flag Rosemount for. Sure, NJ out talking to the official. Encroachment on the Irish.
This will be half the distance of the goal.
Well, I tell you, it'd be interesting to be a fly on the wall at halftime in the Rosemount locker room.
I would not, honestly, Mike Cook, I would not want to be a fly on the wall because right now, Coach Erdman, I should say the natural reaction will be fairly negative, right?
Oh, absolutely.
This is going to be rough. The way this is going, this is not what the Irish thought was going to happen when they came north on Highway 3.
Speaking of the 3, that's where the Cats are right now. Schwam, -2. They're back to the 5. Good job that time again. Jackson in on the stop for the Rosemount Irish. Sean Jackson's got I don't know how many tackles he's got tonight, but it's got to be at least 4 or 5. And Boswell 78 in there as well. We've heard that name a few times tonight. Rosemount does not list sizes of the players, but Boswell 78, he's a big boy.
Yeah, if I were going to eyeball him, I'd say he's probably in the 250, 260 range, probably about 250.
I was going to say a little bit more, but yeah, bottom line, he's a big boy.
He's long. He's long and athletic.
Cats. Gage. Maybe got a yard. Maybe 2 if they really stretch out and are generous for him. Yeah, nice job by the Rosemount defense. Yeah. Guess who? Jackson on the stop.
So here's the thing, Mike. Looking at what's going on here again. I think it's 4-down territory for the Cats. I don't think there's any chance they would kick a field goal here, even though it'd be nice to be up 2 scores. I don't think so. You got 2 plays to make
4 yards.
4 yards. And one thing they have not done, the Cats have not done a lot of in situations like this is attack the corners.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be interested to see if they come at the corners here, give Schwam the ability to attack the corner.
Cats are going to run this clock down, take a timeout, it sure appears. As Nick Johnson standing right next to the official on the side of the field. They go timeout, Wildcats.
I think that's a good use of a timeout. You might as well make sure you've got the right personnel package, let your guys rest.
Hey, speaking of officials, Steve Thielen, he's the dad of Bo Thielen. Hey, why don't we make sure we give a shout-out to Mike and Tony Tuttle. They're watching us tonight from Dallas, Texas, Bo's grandparents. And I understand Bo, following in his dad's footsteps, becoming a football official. Done some 5th and 6th grade games this year. Sounds like he's eligible to maybe do some JV later this season. But, hey, thanks for checking in from Texas there, Mike and Tony. Glad you're with us here on ETV. Your home for Wildcats sports. And Steve was telling me before the game, because he's a Big Ten official, he was at the Nebraska-Colorado game last week. Said, Coach Prime, so nice to deal with. Just a great guy. Awesome to see. Speaking of awesome to see, Wildcats right now.
There have been times, Mike Cook, you and I have been up in this booth or on top of the roof during COVID or wherever we've been, where we've seen some football that was a little challenging to watch. I have to say, this is really pretty stuff for the Wildcats.
From the 4. No negative yards. Timeout, Wildcats again.
I am surprised. Now, again, maybe that's just a pro rule or a college rule. I'm surprised the Wildcats are able to take a timeout there.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Is there a chance? No. They took another timeout.
They did.
That's interesting. Anyway.
2:16 to go in the half.
Not a bad hey, you can't take the timeouts with you. You might as well use them now to make sure you've got everybody lined up correctly. But
absolutely. Hey, speaking of District 196, we always like to talk about some of the other activities. There's a couple of fine arts productions coming up here at both of these high schools.
That's right. The Eagan High School is presenting A Midsummer Night's Dream coming up in October. So the senior preview is on October 4th. The actual performances will be the 5th, 6th, 7th at 7 p.m. And Rosemount High School is presenting She Kills Monsters starting with the preview on the 25th, and then that's another Halloween themed thing. I think a little kind of on the creepy side, and their stuff goes October 26th through 28th. Good tickets still available.
Yep, and I see Eastview and Apple Valley got a couple of productions coming up too, and you cannot go wrong with the theatrical performances here in 196. Schwam, cross back too far, tried to get Sisk coming across.
Incomplete in the end zone.
Well, you say they go for it here. I say they kick it.
Well,
and we're going to see. I think you're going to win this discussion. I don't see Jack Hansen coming out.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, so I got to level with you. If I was going to go for it on 4th down, I would have run the football there.
Absolutely.
I would have.
I stand corrected. Hansen is out there.
Yeah, there you go.
How can I miss Jack Hansen?
Well, he was already on the field, Mike, because he plays right tackle.
Okay, there we
so
go.
he wasn't coming onto the field because he was already there.
So how long have we been doing this? 22 yards for Hansen for a 10-0 lead. Kick is up. Kick is good.
22-yard field goal.
2:06 to go in the opening half. 22-yarder from Jack Hansen. 10-0 Eagan Wildcats over the Rosemount Irish. And we talked a couple before the game. Eagan right now is in the heart of their schedule. They've got a killer schedule right now. You've got Rosemount tonight, number 9 in Class 6A. The next 2 weeks, you're at South on Thursday. Lakeville North is here on Friday the 29th. They're 2-3 in the state. They're playing right now over at North. None of those games are going to be easy.
Absolutely not.
For the Wildcats, get some momentum going into those hard games like that would be absolutely huge.
Well, this is momentum, right? I mean, this is absolutely the momentum that they're looking for. The Wildcats defensively, they've been solid so far. They've been solid in forcing the Irish to punt or try to punt the ball twice. And offensively, they have moved the football against what is ordinarily and traditionally a stout Irish defense. So, I mean, right now it's working for them.
Coleman and kick it off. Kind of pooched it last time. Ditto. Rosemount's actually going to return this one. And they get a good return out across the 45-yard line. So 2:03 to go and all 3 timeouts. Irish with a nice starting opportunity to possibly put some points on the board.
Well, you might ask, why would the Wildcats do that? And the answer is it eliminates or substantially reduces the chances of a big return. And what it does is it allows the coverage to focus on a small area with not as many players. So in other words, when you kick the ball all the way back, everybody becomes a blocker. Every Rosemount player becomes a blocker. But when you kick it that far, they've only got 3 or 4 blockers, right? So you should outnumber them at the point of attack.
Empty backfield for the Irish here. 1st and 10. Good pressure. Hansen gobbles him up. Back at the 34-yard line. That's a -12. Now they're going to put it at the 35 officially. Okay, -11. Jack Hansen absolutely burst around that left side.
Well, Hansen is fired up. He is jumping up and down, flex. He's excited. I tell you, after playing offensive line and just driving them back, now he gets to tee off on the pass rush. This is going the wrong way for the Irish at this point.
I do not want to be Jalen when he's 6'5", 245 coming at you. Near side, Irish cutting it up.
Yeah.
There's a flag on the play. This will get him back to about the original line of scrimmage. However, Hansen, I think, is looking for a face mask.
Well, he's not going to get it, but he's going to get a massive holding penalty right at the point of attack. Yep. I called that. I could call it from up here. Major hold.
And there's Ganser, by the way, was the ball carrier. Not that matters. We've got a Wildcat down on the field. Nick Johnson out to check on him.
Yeah, and it was right at the point of attack, so it's no question about that. Easy call.
Dr. Diana Backlund out there, Eagan trainer. Hopefully this is just a cramp. 1:17 to go. 10-0 Wildcats. Yes, he said 10-0 Wildcats.
Do not adjust your television and do not play the Twilight Zone theme because, ladies and gentlemen, these Wildcats are doing some stuff here on the field that we have not seen this Wildcat program do, Mike Cook.
What is one number above 10?
Would that be 11?
It would be. That's how many times in a row Rosemount has beaten the Eagan Wildcats.
In a row.
In a row.
Yeah.
Dating back to 2011.
It has been a long time, no question about that.
And the injured Wildcat is Carter Will, senior linebacker. It's, again, hopefully just a cramp.
Challenge in situations like that when a ball gets strung out is a jet sweep to the right by the Irish. Nicely done in that regard. But what happens is as the play flows, people start to fall. Blockers, tacklers, everybody starts to fall, and they start to fall on each other's legs. And as Will, you see Will needing a little help to get off the sideline, which is not a good sign.
No, I don't like that.
But at the same time, he's not being carted off. So he's tough. He's a linebacker. He's going to have to. He'll be back. At some point, he'll be back. That's my prediction.
That's how Rosemount keeps going on offense. They are now looking at second and 6 plus 23 is 29. Yeah, they need to get to the Eagan 44-yard line. Again, all 3 timeouts for the Irish.
Wildcats just need to keep the Irish in front of them. Don't let them behind you.
So Jappel, the quarterback, I think I called him Jalen before my mistake. Jappel, he'll keep it. Not going to get anywhere. That play took all of 7 seconds. Gets pushed out of bounds there on the near side by the Wildcats. I think Boats was in there. Or no, not Boats. Yeah, Boats. Minimal pickup that time for the Irish.
Yeah. As I have to say, Mike, that was a conservative play call.
Very much so.
I have seen Irish teams in situations where they've got 3rd and long like that, air it out, go over the middle, look for a crossing pattern, try to put the Wildcats in a bind. They didn't do it that time, and it makes me wonder if maybe they're thinking play calling wise, and they line up a T formation with 2 tight. That's not exactly a stretch offense either.
And they're going to rush it. Minimal pickup that time. That was Malexidek, the ball carrier number 8. Gets out to the 29. Minimal pickup. Timeout taken, presumably by the Wildcats, and indeed it is, with 55 ticks left on this one. So Eagan's going to get the football back. It's just a matter of where. And if you're the Wildcats, I mean, do you send the house right here?
No, I wouldn't.
I don't think so either.
I wouldn't. I would set it for a return or make sure that nothing happens to you want the ball. If you get the ball and do nothing but kneel down once and you go into halftime, so be it. But you know what you don't want to do is give the Irish another opportunity with how many times have we seen it? They've hit the punter, get blocked into the punter, doesn't get called that way. I'd be conservative here.
And Landon Danner is the Irish punter, and he basically looks like he's lined up in about a pistol formation. He's not your typical 10, 12, 15 yards back that a punter traditionally is.
I wouldn't even attempt to return the punt. Now I'd have a punt returner back there just to make sure.
They are.
Which they do. Is that Clark?
That is Kruger.
Jack
Kruger. Now here comes some help. I believe this will be Clark joining him. Yeah, Clark will be over there,
Clark joining him.
A.J. Clark, senior D-back. Kruger, senior D-back.
Wildcats have to be smart here.
Yeah.
Landon Danner, number 5, is the punter for the Irish.
Clark calls for the fair catch. Makes it at the 32-yard line. 51 seconds for the Wildcats. No timeouts.
I think the Wildcats, with no timeouts, clock will stop. I think clock stops on the move the chains.
Yes.
That's it.
Yep. And once
but
it's set,
it'll wind again. So the Wildcats still do have an opportunity. I would not pass this ball, throw this ball. I think a steady diet of Gage and Schwam would be just fine. Definitely want to keep it. Oh, they're just going to kneel on it and say, let's go to halftime.
Okay. Well, forget all that great ideas you and I have. Another good snap. Couple extra shoves there. Wildcats will probably need to kneel down one more time. So we're down to 41 and counting. The officials could have really taken their time to get that ball set, and then we wouldn't have to worry about it. But
one more kneel down for the Wildcats.
Absolutely.
And going into halftime, I think Coach Nick Johnson is going to be telling his kids, his players, keep doing what we're doing.
Absolutely.
We're holding on to the football. We're being effective. We're doing everything we have to do to win a football game. Don't change a thing. Okay? We'll keep an eye on what the Irish did in the first. We'll talk about it, but don't change a thing. We're fired up. No letdown. Jeff Erdman, on the other hand, he's got some work to do this halftime. He does. He has some work to do, and not just on the X's and O's, Mike Cook. He's got some work to do between the ears of these Irish players.
I want to hear some noise here from the pit as the Cats head off.
Halftime intermission this evening.
All right, I'm not going to lie. Disappointing cheering there, Eagan fans here. Expected more.
Well, and they might be a bit confused, right? Because they're not used to this type of a result. But don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep.
We will have for halftime. We will have the marching band, and we will have, I believe, the dance team. Yep, dance team's on its way out
without any music.
We'll play some music over the top of it. But reminder, ladies and gentlemen, that the ETV does not have the rights to the music the Eagan dance team is using. So as a result, we cannot play that music. Well,
at the half. The Eagan Wildcats, 10. Rosemount Irish, number 9 in the state, nothing. We're going to take a break. We'll be back for the second half. You're watching Wildcat football on ETV.
Wow. I just finished previewing some of the films in this year's Eagan Art Block Short Film Festival. And let me tell you this might be our best year yet. I'm out of popcorn, so come with me. Tickets are on sale now on Eagan-TV.com for the 2023 Eagan Art Block Short Film Festival, which takes place on Saturday, September 23rd, right here at the Imagine Theater in Eagan. With the popcorn, snacks, drinks, not to mention a Q&A with filmmakers, and a great selection of films, this festival is going to sell out fast. So get your tickets now on Eagan-TV.com for the 2023 Eagan Art Block Short Film Festival, and be a part of one of Minnesota's fastest growing film festivals. And we'll see you at the movies.
Today we're doing the annual Cats vs. Cops, where we play a 7-on-7 game against the cops here in Eagan.
This was actually an idea a couple years ago of our police chief, Roger New. He said we should play a touch football game, and him and our former president, Jack Esser, made this happen.
Myself and another community member, Jack Esser, were thinking of ways to try to bring the community together, and he said, would you be interested in playing flag football against a high school team before the season kicked off? And I said, yeah, why not? And 3 years later, here we are.
Just an opportunity for us to get back to the community, get a chance to connect with our local police officers and the way they've been able to do stuff for the community for us. It's a chance for us to have some fun out there and play what we do on Friday nights with them.
One of the most important parts about this event is just trying to bring the community together. We never knew that it was going to grow to this extent, but we're glad that we could just be part of this event, and we just appreciate the community support.
Our police force is awesome, and for us to be able to do this with them, I think is just, it shows that they're looking for ways to be out in the community. So we come together and we play 7-on-7, and we have a blast out there. I love anything we can do to build that relationship.
They do so much for us, so it's a great way to give back to them, and you know, it's a night for them to take off doing their duties as police officers and enjoy being a high schooler like we are and having some fun playing some football.
We're the Eagan Wildcats, but like, we're all Eagan. We're all one team. It's a great event and it's a lot of fun.
Do you know about Positively Eagan? It's a video series by ETV that highlights the good happening in our Eagan community. Stories of people reaching out, giving back, or shining a light on the people who make Eagan great. If you or someone you know has a story to share, we want to hear about it and feature it in Positively Eagan. Visit cityofeagan.com/positively-eagan to submit your story and watch previous episodes.
A small area plan offers us a formal method to look at a particular area in detail. We're looking at not just the here and now, but we're looking at the past and the future, 20 or 40 years into the future. In this case, it's the area around Eagan Central Park. So the Unisys building, the former Delta building, and the former Argosy University building. Together, that comprises about 79 acres and over 731,000 square feet of office space. Because of the current state of the office market, we have high office vacancies in the Twin Cities and really across the nation. So likely what will happen here is that the sites will be redeveloped for different uses. The goals in creating the plan are to collect data, public input, and City Council direction, and use those to communicate the city's vision to potential site purchasers and developers. We've completed the first phase of public engagement. It included print and social media outreach, a digital survey, and 2 events at the Eagan Community Center. It even included an event with 132 4th and 5th graders at Pilot Knob STEM Elementary School. This was such a fun event, and the first time we've done outreach at an elementary school for a planning project. We are beginning our second phase of community engagement. It will include an interactive survey that summarizes everything the planning team has learned, shares the concepts presented to the City Council, and collects community feedback. The planning team will be at Market Fest on July 19th and August 16th to answer questions and collect input. Over 500 people responded to the first digital survey. Feedback from in-person events seemed that people were excited to see the concepts and looking forward to participating in the second phase of public engagement. The concept plans are a visual representation of what we've learned about the site, the market, and community needs. The concept plans are not intended to be a choice between 3 distinct options, but an a la carte menu of possibilities. The concept plans are a visual tool to help us communicate site opportunities to the community. The final plan will most likely have elements of 2 or more concepts. Join us in shaping the future of the area around Eagan Central Park. Visit the city's website for more information.
festivities this evening will conclude with the poem Cancer, written by Jessica Louise Wheeler. The poem will be read by Kara Levin's Randy Shaver, a cancer survivor and the host of Pet Sports Extra. At this time, we ask all of you to light your cell phone light and turn your attention to the video screen on the scoreboard at the north end of Wildcat Stadium.
One day you showed up with no reason why. You claimed your victims, you made young men cry. I'm warning you now that we're all fighting back. One day we will stop your unprovoked attacks. You've proven your point and made me sick to the core. You've left so many waiting outside of death's door. Enough is enough. You can't ruin lives forever. You've torn apart families that were happy together. Nobody knows why you're even here. You're not wanted, you're hated. You take those that are dear. There's no explanation, but I want an answer. I know what you are. You're that murderous coward they call cancer. You've got nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. We are coming to get you, so say you're fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
Welcome you back inside Wildcat country. We're at the half. Eagan Wildcats 10, the Rosemount Irish 0. Once again, my name is Mike Cook. Pleased to be joined by Nathan Cron. And Nathan, we look out over us here in the homestand, and the pit is absolutely packed. It's tackle cancer night here in Eagan High School. Kids dressed out in pink. Again, they just had a thing on the video board, do the Wildcat. The pit was up dancing. The bleachers were shaking a little bit. You and I wisely sitting down. But the pit, they've had plenty to cheer about so far. 10-0 Wildcats.
Well, these Wildcat fans are seeing something that they have not seen in quite some time, and that is the Wildcats really taking it to and being very competitive with the Rosemount Irish. The Wildcats going in with a 2-score lead at halftime. I guarantee you, Mike Cook, the Irish are going to come out here and give the Wildcats a game here in this second half. It's going to be a big test of the mental and physical toughness of these Wildcats to hang with these Irish for the next 24 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. As we said in the first half, it's been 2011. Last time the Eagan Wildcats beat the Rosemount Irish. 11 straight for that school just south on Highway 3.
Well, I imagine Coach Nick Johnson I would say, probably pleased with what he saw. I mean, how can you not be? And, wanting to, just tighten it up a little bit, make sure that defense is ready to go, because the Irish, I'm sure, offensively is as below average as they've been. They're going to turn it up. They're going to do something in the second half to put points on the board, get yards. They're going to move the ball down. So the Wildcats have got to respond to that. Offensively, I wouldn't change a thing. I just keep driving it right at the Irish and make me stop them. The Irish, have a great pedigree. They have a great culture and a great tradition. that has been successful for a number of years. This is going to be a street fight in the second half.
Absolutely. Should mention, by the way, we mentioned the first half a few times. Kind of a bare bones broadcast tonight for the ETV crew, and unfortunately we share the truck with Burnsville. They have a home game tonight, so they get the truck with all the bells and whistles on it. But hey, we're still happy to be here tonight, and we've got an all-star crew with us yet tonight.
Yeah, we do. We have an award-winning all-star crew here on ETV that make Mike, you and I look and sound great. Executive producers Josh Sibley, Joe Chupik is our director, Connor Philippi, and Keena Zastapil are our camera people. Thank you so much to our award-winning ETV crew for making us look good, sound good, and bringing this game and other sporting events and other types of events to our community. This isn't just a football game, it's a community event.
We mentioned the community event. I noticed earlier I meant to mention this in the first half, but I was looking down, saw somebody with a brick oven bus pizza was enjoying that. So of course they're here tonight. Finer Meats and Eats, they made the trek back over from Minneapolis. You and I will highly recommend both of those fine establishments here in Wildcat Country.
No, you can't go wrong with either one. No question about that. Got a few other sponsors that we should get to as well here for the Ladder Crew. It's the Eagan Football Booster Club, called the Ladder Crew. Eagan Arms Public House. Remember, they have BOGO Pints before and after games, 9th, 10th, JV, and varsity games. If you've got Wildcat gear on, Wildcat football gear on, you're going to get buy one, get one after and before games. I want to give a shout out to Cooper's Tap House, Tavern 13 in Reliance, as well as Wildcats, Burgers and Bottles of Olstead House on Diamo Kitchen and Rail, Cane's, Devani's, Chick-fil-A, Taco John's, Domino's. A lot of football players eat a lot. I wonder if that's why we've got so many sponsors with a food contingent. You look at these sponsors for the Eagan soccer, and there's a little less eating and a little more other stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is, a lot of these kids, there's hockey parents involved as well as the Cats with a short kickoff once again. Rosemount, good starting position at their own 39-yard line. And I know the pregame festivities tonight for the Eagan fans was Kitchen and Rail. So another one of our good sponsors. And I'm guessing if the Cats are able to hang on tonight, there's going to be a lot of sponsors that are going to be busy after this game.
Oh, absolutely.
But there's 24 minutes to go in this one, at least. Rosemount down by 10. As you said, they get the ball at the 39-yard line. Total yardage in that first half, Rosemount had a minus in front of it when you include all the penalties.
The last time something like that happened, I mean, it's probably been decades since something like that happened.
Jeff Erdman's been here 24 years, and I dare to say that's probably never happened in his career.
That's probably the first time.
Rosemount, tight formation. They run out of that power T every once in a while. And that's a nice pickup on first down for the Irish. Gets about 7. Somebody lost the helmet out there. And he'll have to come out of the game for maybe an Eagan Wildcat. Lost his helmet. There's Alex Lowe's. Gain of 7 that time for Rosemount.
Well, one of the Wildcats had an opportunity to make that tackle in the backfield, and that's what you want to see. You want to see that happen.
Second and about 3 for the Irish. Ganser, pretty good call there. Well, Ganser, he played a big role on that team last year that made it down to the Prep Bowl. That'll be a first down Rosemount, and if my stats are correct, that is the first down for Rosemount tonight.
Irish hustling to the line. They're going to run a little up-tempo.
Same ball carrier. About half the distance that time on the result as Ganser gets it down inside the 40.
Well, the Irish were not having success with spreading out the field, throwing the ball, doing things like that in the first half. This is bread and butter. This is simple. I'll say it that way. It's simple, and I think that's not a bad way to go. If you're struggling, keep it simple. And I think the Irish coaching staff says, hey, let's just do what we know we can do, and keep it straightforward and just win. Go man on man.
Second and about 5. Here this time for the Irish, I believe was numbered. Is that Ganser once again? I think it was 18. I thought it was 10 Mitch Wilson initially, but it was Ganser. So 4 carries for Ganser. He's picked up 25 yards so far in this drive for the Irish. He'll add to that total right here as he breaks a couple of tackles. Ganser down to the 23-yard line. Far and away the most impressive drive tonight for the Rosemount Irish.
Well, the Wildcats not doing something they did in the first half, which was make a tackle. I mean, there's a difference between a 2-yard gain, a 3-yard gain, and a 12-yard gain. And right now, the Wildcats are making it way too easy for the Irish.
Ganser still picks up 4, maybe 5 that time. So they're going to spot him actually only after about a 3-yard pickup.
Yeah, it's the same play 4 times in a row, Mike.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's virtually the same play 4 times, 5 times in a row. It's the sixth play of the drive, so 6 in a row, virtually T formation, slam right. Wildcats have got to adjust.
For those of you that are Wildcat fans, get ready for this next week at Lakeville South, where they run that power T. Ganser, 3rd and about 4 upcoming for the Irish. It's been all Ganser so far. 7 straight carries for the senior.
I'm not sure did he even have a carry in the first half? Mike Cook, I don't know that I recalled his name. He might have had 1.
I think he had 1.
But certainly nothing like we're seeing here.
No.
3rd and 5 for the Irish at the 18.
And he's a kid that you look at that team last year, he came through in some big situations for Rosemount. Cats jump. First down Irish. This is going to be inside the 15. And the Cats knew it was on the right side of that line.
5-yard penalty.
You can't do that. The chant from the large Rosemount student section that made the trek.
Well, it was going to be, short, 3rd down and short in a T formation. It was 4-down territory for the Irish, so you knew that was going to be tough anyway, but giving it to them easy for the Wildcats, that's shooting yourself in the foot.
Absolutely.
And that's not something they did in the first half. They got a rebound from that.
8:12 to go in the 3rd. Rosemount looking to get on the board for the first time tonight. Guess who? Ganser, another nice pickup on first down inside the 10. It's about 5 more for the Rosemount senior.
Wildcats shuttling personnel in and out, Mike Cook. Seems to me that instead of trying to shuttle out personnel, what they need to be doing is doing something a little bit different, giving the Irish a different look, because right now they've run virtually the same play. I think it's the same play. It's slam right to Ganser.
You were saying?
That might be 9 times.
Yeah, well, he's going to be stopped for a minimal pickup. Yeah, I've got him for 9 straight carries. Down to the 8.
Yeah, it's 9.
3rd and about 6.
Well, and again, I think it's almost certainly 4-down territory. I mean, I suppose, look, you're down by 10, so actually a field goal does help you, right? If it's a long 4th down conversion, you could kick a field goal here, but it's 4-down territory. They're going to run the same play over and over again.
Want to bet?
No. Or they're going to give it to the fullback straight up the gut.
Exactly. Touchdown Irish. 10-6. Now the score. I bid on the fake. I thought they were coming near side. Well, I did not see who got the touchdown.
It was number 21.
21.
21,
okay.
Mackie Whelan.
Yep, Whalen. Yep, Whalen. Yep.
Whalen. Yep, Whalen. Nice job by Whalen disguising it. I was not right back in this football game.
And it was a 10-7. No, he missed it. Oh, that's a huge miss. But Rosemount, as we said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 play drive, 60 yards, took 5-11, 10-6. Eagan to get the ball for the first time coming up here in this second half.
Well, it's as we talked about, Mike, at halftime and coming into this second half, there was I would be shocked, right, to the point where I'd be shocked if the Rosemount Irish were kept off the board. The Eagan Wildcats had to know that that was coming. They had to know that the changeup was coming, that Rosemount Irish would make some adjustments and do something to be successful. Now it's the job of Nick Johnson and this coaching staff for the Wildcats to counter that, to find the counter to the counter. And the best counter that I could think of right now is a 18-play, 92-yard drive that takes up 10 minutes, right? I mean, that's what you want.
And ends in 6 points.
That was a big miss on the PAT, though, now being down by 4 points. Yep. And he just missed it. It wasn't blocked. It wasn't pressure. He just pushed it left.
Hey, real quick, want to give a shout out. I got a message. Henry Bird and some Eagan wrestlers watching us tonight on the ETV broadcast. Hey, guys, thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying your Eagan Wildcats with a 10-6 lead right now. And this ball will be returnable for Sisk. Cuts inside, cuts outside, needs a block. Too little, too late. Cats are going to start out at about the 24-yard line. Big drive upcoming here for the Eagan Wildcat squad. Up by 4. Rosemount just drove down at will. Need to get something together here offensively.
Well, in the entire, again, sample size is small, but the body of work in the first half will tell you that they have the ability to do that. Now we're going to see what the Rosemount Irish do defensively. Offensively, we saw how they adjusted. Now we're going to have to see. We're going to get a chance to see what they do defensively to change the pace.
Logic would say keep an eye on Tate Gage. He wears number 2 for the Wildcats. Far side, pick up maybe a couple that time by Schwam as he kept that football. Or is his rap name The Kid YT, and that's WHY for Y.
I guess when people ask me why, I usually say why not, but right now the Wildcats, look, they've pounded and pounded inside. The Irish have a lot of size in that interior line. Now would be the time to attack the edges.
2nd and about 8. They're making some serious noise on the Rosemount side. Evans, he'll get out near the 31-yard line. That's going to set up 3rd and about 3. Brooklyn Evans, who I understand at today's Pep Fest, won the heads, shoulders, knees, and toes competition.
I can't say I'm familiar with the head, shoulders, knees, and toes competition. Mike, would you like to demonstrate?
No, I don't know either. I was just told that he won it at the Pep Fest today. So congratulations to Brooklyn on that. Didn't we do that like in kindergarten in Phi Ed class or something? I kind of remember something. Anyway, 3rd and 3. Schwam looks like he's changing the call. Straight ahead, Gage. Going to be just shy, I think. Number of Irish defenders in there. They were all over that play.
Yeah, he's a yard. Looks like he's a yard short. Looks like he's a yard short, maybe a yard and a half.
I'd say almost a full 2. They need to get to the 39.
Honestly, I think that's a really crummy spot.
Too.
I think he was closer to the. Yeah, I think he was closer to the 37-yard line rather than the, I should say, 38-yard line. No, check it. That's the 35. That's the 33. I thought he was close. Well, anyway, in any event, I thought he was closer and farther up. Now it'll be interesting to see, can the Wildcats draw the Irish offsides?
Which you've got to think they're doing. Watch Sisk up top. Hanson shadowing him. I mean, I can't imagine the Cats are going to go to the air, but if they choose to, timeout taken, by the way, by the Eagan Wildcats.
It may have been a situation, Mike, where the Wildcats wanted to see what the Irish would do when they lined up in a particular formation. Now that they've got that intelligence, now they can say, okay, do we want to go for it? Do we want to change the formation, or do we want to punt the ball?
Well, don't forget, Cats are back here in 2 weeks against Lakeville North. That'll be a full-scale Eagan TV production. That'll be senior night as well, I've been told. And then homecoming is October the 13th. Friday the 13th. Forest Lake Rangers coming down for homecoming this year for the Eagan Wildcats.
The Rangers, you say?
I did say the Rangers from Forest Lake. Rosemount, by the way, they are home next Thursday. Yes, he said Thursday. Rochester Mayo making the trek up. And The Irish are going to be at Farmington and Lakeville South the next couple of weeks. Then they've got Shakopee and Centennial to end the year. Saw Shakopee with a nice comeback last night. I think scored 3 touchdowns in the last quarter to knock off Wayzata or hold off Wayzata. Cats straight ahead, full head of steam. First down, Eagan. Ison. Madden Ison absolutely blown his way through.
On the tackle for the Irish, number 20, Jared Eaton.
Well, that's a gutsy call. That is a gutsy call to go for it on 4th and 2 inside your own 35-yard line in a tight ball game.
5 yards, 6 yards actually on that one.
Great blocking at the point of attack. If Ison's not tackled right there when he was tackled, he's got the burst to go all the way.
3:54 to go in the third. Schwam and the Cats are going to be looking at about a 2nd and 9. Nice job that time by the Rosemount defense. They were all over that play. Boswell, of course, 78. Again, we've called his name a lot of times tonight. Big 78 there for Rosemount on that left side.
A big first down for the Wildcats,
Absolutely.
getting moving the chains, but also keeping this defense out on the field.
Sisk is going to line up right. Bolts will be your tight end off the left side. Heavy set to the right for the Cats. Straight ahead. Gage, look at that line move. Nice job by number 2. Got some help in there from one of the big guys in front. That was 55 in there, Cole Will. The 46. Thought he got a little further, but officials are right there.
33 now for the Wildcats.
6 yard on that carry for Gage. Big play here. We've said that before. Mission Possible, by the way, the homecoming theme this year for the Wildcats. As I look over at the Eagan scoreboard real quick. Well, Mission Possible, can you do it on this drive? Gage. First down across the 50. Actually, they're going to say he's just a hair shy of the 50.
He only had to make it over the 49, so that's going to be a first down.
Yep, and the sticks should be moving on the far side of the field. And there they go. 2:13 and counting to go third quarter. 10-6 Wildcats. This drive started back at their 24-yard line. 7 plays so far to go basically 25 yards. Schwam, air, near side, Sisk. Down to the 40. That's going to be close to a first down. It's going to depend on the spot.
Yeah, it's
Hansen on the coverage.
He's over the 40-yard line. That is a first down. He's to the 39.
Yep, there it is. First at the Irish 39.
Not exactly your typical first down and 10 call by Nick Johnson and the Wildcat offense, but
I like the mixture. I mean, I don't think Rosemount's expecting them to just run the ball.
Well, the defensive back was playing off a lot from
too.
Sisk,
Yep.
and it created an opportunity for him to catch it short and run for the first down.
And I think Schwam saw that too. Now they go back. Actually, Schwam's going to pitch at Ison, cuts it, gets through one man, and he gets down to the 34-yard line. Madden Ison. Rosemount says they got the ball.
He was on the ground.
I think he was too.
Yeah, he was on the ground. That's alert from the Irish to pounce on it, but he was on the ground. No question about that.
6-yard carry for Madden to the 34. You don't even have to say this is 4-down territory.
Hey, they went for it inside their own 35-yard line, Mike Cook.
Exactly.
It's all 4-down territory
Absolutely.
now. The whole field, it might as well be.
And credit to the Wildcats, they are milking this clock. I did not write down the start time on this
It
drive.
started with 6:40 to go,
There you go.
Mike Cook.
And we are currently just inside a minute to go in this quarter. Going to be third and about 3. Tate Gage again, the ball carrier for the Wildcats.
On the tackle, 32, Sean Jackson for the Irish.
Next play might be the last play of this third quarter, Mike Cook, and each team has had exactly one possession.
Absolutely correct.
Third and about 3.
Ground and pound, the name of this game.
Well, the Irish certainly showed us that in their first drive. Wildcats are returning the favor.
Absolutely.
We might be we might be beating the traffic here. It's just after 8:30 here Central Time, and we might be home by 9 o'clock at this rate.
Well, Cooper's Eagan Arms, you better be ready. The crowd's coming if the Cats hang on. Gage. No, Schwamp cuts it outside. Carson Schwamp inside the 20, 15. Nice bouncing outside by the senior signal caller. That's going to be a pickup of, let's see where they spot this football. They're going to put that inside the 17, so that's a 15-yard pickup by Schwam on what should be the final play. There's just 6 seconds left. I would imagine you set the ball, wind the clock.
Well, he went out of bounds, so I think the fact that he went out of bounds means that this will be the last play. They're going to have to run a play here.
Nathan Cron, the voice of reason here on ETV.
I don't know about the voice of reason, but I'm still talking.
Straight ahead, Gage.
Ball carrier is Nick Tesdall, number 31.
Check that back. That's Tesdall. That's his first carry of the football game. We're going to go to the fourth quarter. Eagan Wildcats 10 and the Rosemount Irish 6. Rosemount had one drive that series, marched right down the field. Whalen 8-yard run to get the Irish within 10-6. They missed the extra point. Will that come back to haunt the Irish? We'll see. But right now the Cats are on a drive that has taken 6 minutes, 40 seconds, and they're down on the 14 for Rosemount.
Yeah, they could burn another 2 minutes or 3 minutes on that, depending on how many times they have to run that ball. They can get a first down inside the 10-yard line. I want to talk to everybody here on ETV a little bit about the soccer action we had this week for the boys and girls. Eagan High School teams both played Eastview and Rosemount. Eastview on Tuesday, Rosemount on Thursday. Games against Eastview went pretty well. The boys and girls both picking up wins. The girls defeated Rosemount last night here 2-1. And a comeback victory. Goals by Weisendonner and Leitenberg to beat the Irish. Yeah, defending state champion Rosemount Irish.
That's right.
Had not beaten them in 3 years, 2 seasons, going back to more than 2 seasons ago. And the boys ended up losing 1-0 to the Irish. A first half penalty being the difference, but a lot of good action. Should be checking it out here on ETV, folks. Whether you're from Rosemount, South Florida, Eagan, or parts unknown, you definitely need to be checking it out because it's great high school action. And remember, the best thing in the world is to watch a game between a bunch of high school kids, a good competitive game that you don't care who wins or loses, right? It's just so much fun.
And the price is right. It's free
It's
on
free.
ETV.
It is free.
We're not charging you on one of those pay-per-view deals. It's free. 2nd and 6. Ison. First down, I believe. We'll send on the spot. It's going to be close.
So he's they're going to mark him short, I think.
I think they are too. Gain of 5, they're going to say. Inches away from a first down are the Eagan Wildcats.
Well, that's a hit.
It is 3rd down, but can Boswell and the Irish make a stop here?
Pardon me, Mike Cook. I was going to mention lots of hands on hips down there for the Irish. There are some tired defensive linemen. They've been pushed around all over this field.
Schwam's going to keep it. Won't he? No, he won't. Give it to Gage. Should be enough for a first down.
Yeah.
Yep, they got.
He's on the 6-yard line. He made it to the 6.
I say he needed about a foot. I think he got a couple of yards. Again, what a surge, though, by Meyer in that offensive line for the Wildcats. Will is in there. Yeah, we got to give those guys some love here for this, the way they performed tonight.
Still haven't dropped the sticks.
No.
Now they signal first down on the 6. Yep.
Aiden Hedler up there.
Maybe on the 7.
I know Aiden Hedler had some family watching from Wisconsin last game. I hope you're with us again tonight. Zach Rutschke out there, 72. You can't miss Zach. 6'5", 280 for number 72. Anthony Highbury, he's our tight end, number 80. 6'4", 1st and goal from the 7. Straight ahead. No, Schwam. Pitch. Ison to the outside. Can he get the corner? Ison to about the 2. Good pressure that time by Jackson for Rosemount, and we've called his name an awful lot tonight as well. 32 in white.
All right, I'm going to be a technical guy here, and I'm going to find fault with that play. Madden Ison did not maintain his pitch relationship. He had to get back into position as Schwam was looking to cut it up. And that's the kind of miscommunication, Mike Cook, that can result in a fumble or some sort of other negative play. Good job from Madden correcting his pitch relationship and getting into the end zone.
I didn't want to jinx the Wildcat, but I was just thinking earlier in this drive, there has not been a turnover tonight. To the end zone. Gage is going to be a hair short, and I do mean about a hair.
I thought my eyes, and maybe it's just the old guy here in the booth. I wasn't using my binoculars. I thought Gage was pushing into the end zone
too,
but that must have been somebody else. In any event, third down.
Third and 1.
Is it third down already? It is third down already, yes. And a few inches.
Cats punch this one in. Listen to the roar we're going to get on the near side in the home section. Schwam. 6 points, Eagan.
Listen to the roar of the crowd. I'm not sure if you can pick it up, but it's palpable.
Second 1-yard score of the night for Carson Schwam. 16-6 Wildcats.
For the point after attempt by Jack Hansen.
16-play drive. Hansen, PAT, is through the uprights. 8:53 to go. We're on upset alert in Wildcat country. Eagan 17, the number 9 Rosemount Irish. They're at 6.
I imagine, Mike Cook, that I don't know what the rules are for high school kids storming the field anymore, but
there are no rules at this point.
I was going to say, I got to tell you, I think if this score holds up or if something like it holds up, we're going to see a lot of pink on that field, and not just because it's Tackle Cancer Night, but it's because everyone's going to be down there celebrating with these Eagan Wildcats. I have to say the Irish have not stopped the Wildcats once this game.
That is the one thing I was going to say they've got going for them, but Rosemount, you've got almost 9 minutes of game time left. If you can go down and you get something here, you finally make that stop if you're the Rosemount Irish. Well, you got a shot.
You absolutely have a shot.
So let's not be starting the parade quite yet.
Well, absolutely, but I will say this. How did the Irish score in the third quarter? They scored by running with the T formation, pounding it at the Wildcats.
Correct.
That takes time.
Absolutely.
That takes time. That doesn't inure itself to a quick strike offense down the field. So we'll see what these Irish have up their sleeve offensively.
And this kick is going to get out of bounds. No, nice job of checking up at about the 20. Rosemount going to make a return out to the 26-yard line, forcing to gather that football. The Irish, that was Malexidek for 8. Rosemount to start at their 26-yard line.
Major credit to Seth Colemine in that time with that kickoff. That was perfectly placed. It created a real conundrum for the return team.
And he got the spin on it because that ball looked like it was going to go out of bounds, in which case Rosemount's going to have great field position.
Right.
27-yard line there to say for the Rosemount Irish.
Now that being said, if I was the Irish, I wouldn't change anything. I'd keep pounding this ball at the Wildcats and hope something bursts.
They sure line up that way. I mean, 100%. I agree with you totally. And straight ahead. I assume that's Ganser once again. Actually, it's not, as I stand corrected that time. It is number 21, Whelan.
So Whelan's going to be your change of pace, pounding straight ahead over the A or B gaps, over the guard center. Ganser's going to go off tackle. Certainly there's a pitch out or there's a wide play in this package as well.
Straight ahead, read extremely well by the Wildcat defenders. Kruger up from the secondary. Number 33 in there as well. Henry Heinlein, the linebacker, in on the stop. I think we mentioned Henry's name yet tonight. Cotton Eye Joe, you can crank through the system. Pitt is, you can line dance as much as you can in this crowd.
For the Irish, it's 4 down territory, so they got 4 plays to pick up 5 yards. Or excuse me, 2 plays to pick up 5 yards.
Air it out near far side, I should say. Dorsey with the stop. Rosemount stretches out on that receiver. Gensler, is it going to be enough?
I
thought he was just shy.
Yeah, they're going to give it to him.
Or I should say Ganser. What is it? Ganser, I know that. Jackson Ganser. I apologize to his fan section. Needed about 4.5. That's what they got. 7.5 to go. Straight ahead. That didn't go anywhere that time. A 1-yard pickup, trying to run into the heart of that Wildcat defense.
Wildcats just have to keep their reads. They have to read and make sure they're doing what they're supposed to do, know their assignment and execute their assignment, and then tackle with a rally. They've got to rally to tackle. There are too many good runners in that backfield.
Larson and company did a good job of really kind of stuffing that middle opportunity to Rosemount. They going downfield, looking for a call, none forthcoming. Rosemount had 2 guys that were getting pretty close to another, so I'm going to guess maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern there, but the bottom line is the ball's going to fall incomplete, and it's 3rd and 8, 6:55 to go.
Well, again, 4 down territory. At this point of the game, you're down by 2 touchdowns. I would say 2 scores, but you and I both know that being down 11, well, I should say you're down 2 scores. Maybe you're not down 2 touchdowns. You're down 2 scores. It's 4 down territory on the whole field.
I think they're going to go to the air, and indeed they are. Trying to find a seam down the middle, too far. The intended receiver that time was Whelan. Whelan, the senior, just over his outstretched hands. He had a step on a defender. Just a little too far that time was the throw from Japel. As the trumpets are sounding. 6:49 to go. 4th and 8, Irish.
If the Irish have a we got to get 9 yards play, this is where they're going to pull it out, because I don't think if they turn this over on downs, I don't see any way they're going to get this ball back, given how Egan's run it down their throat. Might be a good thought for a timeout if they're not sure.
The Pit, they're starting to make some noise. They are stirring. Rosemount, good pressure by the Cats. Scramble. Oh, what a throw. What an even better catch. And that is caught near side by number 5 by Landon Danner. Ball's going to be up to the 49-yard line.
Oh, that was absolutely brilliant. That was absolutely brilliant. He was inbound, so the clock is still running, but what a great scramble, great catch. Mike Cook, that was poetry.
You will see a throw like that on Sundays.
Oh man, that was
rolling out.
That was brilliant.
Hit him right in stride, thrown across the body to the quarterback. Again, near side. And that's a little quick pitch. Collier with the reception for the Irish. Gets down to the 44. Quick little 7 there for Rosemount.
Well, the Irish now are, maybe it looks like they're going to keep spreading the field and just have to throw the ball. Now they're inside 6 minutes and they're down by 2 scores. They've running that with that T formation the T formation is just not going to be enough for them.
He'll take it left side, cuts it up. First down and more. Down to the 35-yard line. That's a 9-yard gain for the Irish. Rosemount is rolling right now on offense.
Wildcats need to calm down a little bit, read their keys, do what they're supposed to do. They got to get off the field first. There we go.
They come near side this time are the Irish. There you go, nice job that time by the Wildcats. First man in there for the Eagan Wildcats was number 20, Matt Nyson. Got a little help that time by Clark to finish him off.
Irish have got to be careful here. They've run that jet sweep a couple of times. Could have drawn a flag near the point of attack with a hold. They got to be careful.
5 minutes to go. Far side, just a bit overthrown that time. It's going to set up 3rd and 7, Rosemount. I shouldn't even say this. We haven't seen a hanky in a while either.
Well, yeah, the first half had its fair number of penalties. This half's been pretty clean on both teams. Wildcats did get caught with jumping off sides on that first Rosemount drive in the 3rd quarter, but other than that, it's been pretty clean. That defensive line's got to get to the quarterback. They've got to get home. They've got to create some pressure to make him move his feet.
3 receivers for the Irish. Very rare set for Rosemount. Near side, I think he's out. Oh, they're going to say he caught it.
Wow.
I don't know. Woo.
He's still short of the first down, but what a brilliant catch.
Riddick Collier, his 2nd catch on this drive. 4th and 2. At the 26.
And we've got a stoppage. Referee and multiple officials now converging. They're going to talk for a minute here. I'm not sure exactly what the holdup is.
Eagan Pitt cheerleaders are encouraging them to make noise. They're semi-obliging. Moho Doho Casa Pitt tonight in tackle cancer, 2023.
So conversation with the Rosemount. Oh, so we have a reset.
Reset the clock. 4:35. They just took a second off the clock.
They're going to put it to 4:42 according to the public address announcer.
Okay. And technology issue down there. 4th and 2 is the drama. We're going to let it build a little bit more.
Well, the other question I have is, was he inbounds when he caught that ball, or was his knee? Did he get out of bounds before? Because he was right near the sideline, and we of course couldn't see through a gaggle of Wildcat players. So 4:42. I wonder if they'll start the clock then.
They're having problems getting the clock reset. There's been some technical issues up here in the booth tonight on the press box with some power surges and outages. And I understand we lost part of our broadcast briefly in the first half. Very briefly. Quick opportunity. Remember, looking ahead, next Thursday, both of these teams are in action. Eagan Wildcats are down at Lakeville South. Rosemount will be home to Rochester Mayo. Last we heard, Battle of Lakeville 7 all at the half. I'm gonna bet they're packed in at Lakeville North tonight.
Absolutely. Just as they are here in the Rosemount student section with a patriotic theme over there. The pink out on this side here for the Wildcats, and this, I'll tell you right now, this delay is to the Wildcats' benefit.
I was just going to say 100%. This is
major slowage, major opportunity to slow down the momentum of the Irish.
I'm looking over at the guys trying to figure out the scoreboard. They just changed 2 seconds on it.
Well,
what do we call this? Technical difficulties?
Well, yeah,
stand by?
Yeah, absolutely. What ends up happening is that as everything becomes more and more technologically tied in, it becomes harder and harder sometimes to fix problems or glitches when they occur. Referees are going to wait this out, though, because finishing a game like this with them keeping time only on the clock, only on the field would be, well, let's just say challenging.
Yeah. Okay, now we have the clock down to 0. We're getting closer. Wildcats win 17-6. Oh, there we go. 4:42 now on the clock.
All right. So
the Pitt was optimistic.
So for hindsight 2020, take all the time off, then put it back on instead of trying to take. All right.
Well, now they just took 2 more seconds off, so it's at 4:40. Whatever. 4th and 2, Irish. Another second just went off. Straight ahead. Eagan is there. It's going to happen. Ganser is stuffed. A.J. Clark and company. Heinlein. I'm looking at defensive coordinator Comer. He is going to lose his mind with excitement. Jack Hansen on the stop. Ladies and gentlemen, the Eagan Wildcats, 4:32 away from knocking off the number 9 team in Class 6A.
Well, it wasn't a poorly designed play by the Irish. They were doing what had gotten them down here, running the ball, power, rhino, slam right, whatever you want to call it. And that time there was just a big collision or big big pile of humanity in the middle. Back went into that pile of humanity, and credit to the Wildcats, they rallied quickly.
4:32 to go. 3 timeouts, I believe, on both sides. Schwam on the right end. That gets about 5. Timeout taken, I presume, by the Rosemount Irish.
Now you can't wait inside 3 minutes if you're the Irish.
No chance.
You've got to save all the time you can when you're down 2 scores. If they were down 1 score, of course, folks, they could afford to maybe see if the Wildcats can get a first down first, maybe.
Hey, but they're talking about let's mention our sponsors one more time. So I'm guessing we've got a pretty good viewing audience right now, and these businesses deserve all this credit for being part of Eagan Wildcat football.
Well, you got Eagan Arms Public House, and gosh, Mike, we might just be stopping there to get a BOGO after this game. Cooper's Tap House, Tavern 13, Wyatt's Wildcats, Burgers and Bottles of Olstead House, Andiamo, Kitchen and Rail, Cane's, Devani's, Chick-fil-A, Taco John's, and Domino's. Thank you for your support here for Wildcat football, and of course thanks to Brick Oven Bus and Finer Eats and Meats,
which we will be stopping
which we definitely will be stopping out on the way out because we have a pre-order there. Hey, you don't do this for as many years as we do it without understanding that you put in the pre-order before the game ends.
2nd and 4. Wildcats by 11. 3rd and about 3 upcoming as Gage gets maybe 1 on that carry. Timeout, Irish. And I just want to say, Nathan, I'm looking over at the parking lot. A, it's packed. B, I don't see any taillights.
No, nobody's leaving.
People are not leaving this stadium.
I think you're going to have a very happy student section if the Wildcats are able to pick up they got to pick up a first down here, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, granted, they're, being ahead by 2 scores is a big deal, but
a first down here, Rosemount would be down to 1 timeout. I don't want to say it ices it, but
it'd be pretty tough.
Plenty of water is chilling, shall we say?
Yep. Nobody's left on the Rosemount student section either. It's credit to those guys over there bringing the noise, bringing the energy, and of course they'll be looking to if this score stands up, they'll be looking to rebound next week against Rochester Mayo. Will be coming into District Stadium. I think it's still called. Is it still called District Stadium, Mike Cook? Or is it called Rosemount Stadium?
It's Rosemount Stadium.
Is it Rosemount Stadium now? It was, of course, for years was District Stadium because all the high schools played their games there, remember?
Back when one of us was a Rosemount student back in the day when it was Rosemount and Apple Valley.
And that was it.
In the Minnesota Conference, and that was always the game to determine the title. It's just a matter of which side did you sit on for that game. Cats, straight ahead, Isa. Oh, he's going to be, I think official on the far side, I think he's there. Near side, I don't think he's here. What do the officials, where do they meet in the middle? Oh, they're going to get a short spot. Guy on the near side wins that one. Crowd not happy.
Well,
timeout, Rosemount.
Well, the officials are doing the best they can, right? But what's amazing there is you have 2 officials who saw the same play.
Yep.
Were on the same line. One was clearly a yard closer, i.e. the first down. One was clearly a yard back, and the official on the far side said, okay, buddy, you got the better spot because you saw him go down better than I did. Okay, that happens. That's just the way it works sometimes. But it may not matter as the Wildcats, Mike Cook, they are perfect on 4th down in this game. They are perfect on 4th down. They are 3 for 3 on 4th downs.
And you have to go for it here.
Absolutely. They are going to go for it. I don't know if they're going to give it to Gage. I don't know if Schwab's going to quarterback sneak it. I don't know what's going to happen. All I know is that they're going to go for it, and they're going to make the Rosemount Irish stop them.
All I know is I'm just looking down. I mean, the pit was just jamming out. Well, we talked about we don't see any taillights in the parking lot. You're going to see some Rosemount fans heading out if the Wildcats get this one. 4th and about 2. The near side fans, you'll be able to hear it. Schwam, first down, Eagan. Warm up the bus.
The Wildcats still have to get another first down, Mike Cook, but they still have to get another first down, but without any timeouts, the Irish are not going to be able to stop them.
And remember, Rosemount needs 2 scores.
And they need 2 scores. It's not like they need 1. They need 2.
3:38 and counting right now. Rosemount out of timeouts. You're going to need basically a turnover right here if you're the Irish. I'd be stunned if the Cats do anything but run this ball. Gage, Rosemount, they're definitely going to try and strip that football out. Saw McKeever, he was reaching in there hard, but nice job by Tate Gage. Gage, I'm going to say one of the strongest kids on this team.
Well, look, ball security is absolutely paramount, and you saw Gage squeezing that ball as if it was one of his bodily organs, right? I mean, he's keeping it in tight.
2nd and 8 upcoming. Wildcats now at their 44-yard line.
Cats, you know they're going to take almost every last second that they can before they snap this football.
We talked about how this is big, not just physically between the numbers, but mentally for these Wildcats. Mike Cook, how big as the Wildcats now take a timeout? They want to make sure that they've got their package in. I'm sure they went down to the very last second, but let's assume that this score holds, Mike Cook. And I think we can feel pretty good that it's pretty likely, you know. How big of a change, how big of a mental switch is this for the Wildcats? How big is this for this team this year? Never mind the program and climbing the ladder.
I don't know I don't even know how you can quantify that. I mean, you could say it's 110% better, blah, blah, blah. You and I were here 2 weeks ago when this same squad looked god-awful against Edina. There's no two ways about it. Got it together last week at Mayo. And here they are against the Rosemount Irish, who routinely steps on the throat of the Wildcats. And the Cats are super close to being able to pull this one off. Schwam keeps it. Schwam will.
Schwam keeps the ball met by a host of Irish tacklers.
And we said, the Wildcats, they're into the gauntlet right now. You've got Lakeville South next week. You've got Lakeville North the week after that.
Also in on the tackle, number 38, Max Jones and others. 1 yard gain to the 45.
Well, Coach NJ,
I just want to say, you pointed it out, the pit is shifting to the gate.
I think the pit is about to become the mosh on the field. I don't know if it's the Mojo, Bojo, Who's Your Daddy. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's going to be a fun time down there on the field.
Inside 2 minutes to go in this one.
And Tate Gage delivers the dagger.
Thank you for coming. Please drive home safely.
And that's a first down, a big first down for the Wildcats. And now the Wildcats will be able to kneel on it twice and celebrate doing something they have not done in 11 years, Mike Cook.
You think about it, the seniors on this squad were in first grade.
Let's talk about the Rosemount Irish for just a second.
Where do you go?
Well, they've got to regroup. They've got to regroup. They've got to. Coach Erdman's going to have to get these guys lined up correctly and have them do what they need to do to be successful. They still have a tough football schedule as well, and look, it's a proud program with a tradition of excellence. I don't think they're going to go winless the rest of the season. They're not going to go in the tank, any of that silliness, right? No. But that being said, they were beaten tonight. I'm going to say this carefully. They were beaten tonight by a better football team tonight.
Yeah,
absolutely.
100%. Absolutely is the case.
I think there's a bit of, honestly, Mike.
37 seconds. By the way, 36 seconds. This will be the last snap. Look out for the pink party.
I think everybody's stunned. I think everybody on the Eagan sideline, everyone's clapping. The pit's going to go crazy, but I think everybody's stunned. I can tell you everybody on the Irish side of the ball is stunned.
Move out of the playing field until after the teams have had a chance to shake hands.
When was the last time you heard that announcement here of telling the fans to stay off the field till they shake hands?
I think that's a good move.
Oh, I agree. Good luck honoring it.
4, 3, 2, 1. Ball game.
And the game is over. The final score of tonight's Metro South
Carson Schwam, a pair of 1-yard scores. Ladies and gentlemen, the Eagan Wildcats just knocked off the number 9 team in Class 6A. 17-6, the final. And it wasn't just Schwam. if this is any indication of the Wildcats, this is going to be a fun last 5 games.
I have no idea how many football games these Wildcats are going to win over the last 5 games. They might win 4, they might win 1. I have no idea. What I can tell you right now is this football team, this student body, this climb the ladder group has been looking for this for over a decade. And they have found it here tonight in Eagan.
Just all you got to do is look at the celebration. Somewhere in there, Nick Johnson has to talk to his team postgame. Good luck, NJ. Wow. I'm stunned. I'm stunned.
There's a part of you that says, did that just really happen? And ladies and gentlemen, it did.
And it wasn't that they pulled one out at the end. It was, This was Eagan Wildcats start to finish.
The scenarios that in my head I thought about before this football game, Mike Cook, as you and I were chatting, did Eagan winning start to finish? Was that anywhere in the mix? No. The answer is no. I'm going to answer for you. No, it wasn't.
No, it's not.
Eagan High School, you have a 2-1 football team on your hands. Yeah, you got 2 tough games against 2 very good, tremendous Lakeville programs in the next 2 weeks. But you've got a football team that just pounded on the Rosemount Irish. They pushed the Irish all over this field. That offensive line was dominant. They were not stopped a single time. They didn't punt once an entire game. They did not turn over the ball. They had a few penalties.
I was going to say, a handful at most?
Maybe 3-4 penalties, and most of them of the 5-yard variety. So hats off to Coach Nick Johnson. These Wildcats have to be feeling good. Makes you wish you were down there in blue and silver.
They had the Pep Fest this afternoon. They got everybody fired up. Hard to believe 6 hours, 7 hours later, you'd be celebrating an 11-point win over the Rosemount Irish. But that's the reality of it all. So while they celebrate down on the field, Tackle Cancer Night, pretty in pink. I want to say on behalf of our entire ETV crew, he is Nathan Cron, I'm Mike Cook, and we will see you next time for Wildcat football, Wildcat football on ETV.